Brian Particelli, 2fab.com here. How you both doing today?
How are you? Your t-shirt.
I
Oh
I
my
had to wear it. I had to represent.
God, I'm obsessed.
I gotta say, I had such a fun time with this movie. I love horror movies. I love musicals. So something that kind of brings them together, right up my alley. But Caroline, I wanted to ask you first just about casting Melissa in this, because definitely it's kind of new territory for her. She hasn't been able to do like a rom-com type film before. I know a lot of people know her from horror. So what was just the process of casting her?
Well, I think that because this is a mashup of multiple genres, I think the world knows her from her developing profile as like a genre, a traditional genre actress, and she's
Mhm.
known for all these horror films. She's less known for romantic comedy, which I think was really exciting for me that we have this little budget. We're making this tiny indie film. It's hard to attract a bigger actress for a project like this. So lots of, you know, my hope was there was going to be an actress out there who was interested in a challenge, and they would take on a smaller project like this because they had never done a role,
Mhm.
like this before. And Melissa was a singer. Melissa is a singer. Melissa's a dancer. So I was like, I think I saw her in the Heights and Vida,
So
and
good.
she's just incredible, and she's so lovable, which is extremely important for, romantic comedy. Um, so I just felt like there was enough pieces in place that maybe this would be attractive to her, an attractive project for her. I also had a friend who knew her, and he was like, I think you guys would really get along. And yeah, and then we sent her the script to her people, and she read it in a day, and she was like, let's
Man.
talk. I was in London at the time. I flew from London to LA to meet with her. Yeah. And then she was like, I'm in. Let's do it together. It's great.
It worked out well. And for Kayla, can you just talk a little bit about what's it like for you to be in a film that does mash up so many genres? It is part musical, it's part rom-com. There are these horror elements in it. There's, blood all over the place towards the end of the film. It's definitely a lot going on.
Yeah, it was so fun. The acting side of it, I knew I trusted Caroline so much. I just kind of like threw myself in and
Yeah.
told the truth as much as I could. Watching her on the other side of it in the editing process and in the writing process, figuring out how to mash up these genres was so cool. And what I loved about her work is that it always had this element of truth and love, like making sure that we're focused on the truth of the relationships, the truth of Monster and Laura, really what Laura was going through, and making sure that the genres accommodated that. Because
Mm.
Caroline always says, she's right here. I'm going to use her famous line, which I love, which is that her breakup wasn't a one genre experience. And so that was the truth of implementing these genres. So it always came from a real place and an emotional place. So
Mm.
even though, of course, it's a challenge to figure it out, we always had such a base. It wasn't just kind of like, let's throw it in and see if it works.
And lastly, I just wanted to ask how difficult or complicated it gets when you're doing some of the more romantic scenes, when you do have Tommy all done up in the prosthetics, and does that add another layer of challenging to it, I guess?
It makes everything, you like to ground everything when the world is so absurd.
Mm.
It's really, really challenging. But I think everyone really knew what the mission at hand was. Like, I'm a deeply, deeply corny romantic person. Like, I like it to be as schmaltzy as possible. And to get the best schmaltzy feeling in the room, you really have to always come back to a place of such like sincerity. And Melissa knew that, and Tommy knew that. And so when things started to feel chaotic and out of control, it was like, let's take a moment and like realize this is about people learning to love themselves and and connecting to parts of ourselves that are so full of pain and heartbreak and hope. And I think that returning to those really, deep, true feelings was a way to keep things grounded throughout all. ridiculous chaos of making a movie with 7,000 genres.
Well, I fully enjoyed myself. Thank you both for your time today and have a good one.
Brian.
Thank you so much.